my dear students. I welcome you all for Standard 9 Science and Technology Part 1. We are going to learn a new chapter, Acid, Bases and Salts, and this is the Module 1. The learning outcomes of this chapter are, by learning this chapter, you will be able to classify the substances of everyday use with the help of indicators and to explain their uses on the basis of experiments, verify by experiments the effects of acids and alkalis on metals and nonmetals, to identify acids and bases, eradicate superstitions and rigid customs prevailing in society with the help of relationship between indicators, acids and bases, to produce natural indicators, to demonstrate the effectiveness of chemical substances, and to understand the concept of dissociation of ions and about electrolysis. In this module, we will be learning about what is acid, what is base, and what is a salt. What are the constituents of molecules of acids, bases, and salts? What are ionic compounds? How ionic bond occurs in sodium chloride? Dissociation of ionic compounds? Arrhenius theory of acids and bases? Classification of acids and bases? Strong and weak acids, bases, and about alkali. We are also going to learn about basicity and acidity. Children, think about the substances that we use. We use variety of substances every day. Generally, substances can be physically classified as solid, liquid, and gases. Chemically, they can be classified as acids, bases, and salts. So there are some substances. Let us see how they can be classified. These are commonly used substances given like lemon, tamarind, baking soda. So many things that we use daily are given. We'll see how do we classify them according to acids, bases and salts. Among those substances, acids or acidic substances are lemon, tamarind, buttermilk, vinegar, orange, milk, tomato. You can guess the sour taste in them. If we look at bases, it's lime, milk of magnesia. Then about salts, baking soda and alum. Water will not be coming under these. Water is a neutral substance. Let us learn the basics of acids and bases. What are they? The foodstuffs that are sour to taste are acidic substances. We have seen lemon, tamarind and all. While that are bitter and slippery or soapy to touch, they are basic substances. We can use indicators to identify acids and bases. We know this very famous thing. This is what is this, children? Yes, this is a litmus paper. And we know how the color changes with acid and base. An acid, it turns a blue litmus paper into red color. Whereas a base, it turns the red litmus paper into blue color. About acids, bases and salts, children, than saying that is sour in taste and bitter in taste, chemically if we observe, the compounds that are having H plus as the basic radical in them are all acids. Take for example, this is a hydrochloric acid. They contain H plus and Cl minus ion. So those compounds that are having this H plus are called as acids. So bases have OH minus, that is hydroxyl ion, as their acidic radical. So those compounds that are having this OH minus as their acidic radical are called as bases. What about salts? The ionic compounds having basic radical other than H plus, here in this case we have Na plus, and acidic radicals other than OH minus. In this case we are having Cl, are called as salts. So salts do not have H plus and OH minus. So Depending on the constituents of molecules, they can be classified as acids, bases and salts. Children, there is a tabular column given in a textbook and one row is being filled for an example that is about hydrochloric acid. The molecular formula is HCl, the basic radical is H plus and the acidic radical is Cl minus. Being H plus available, we can classify them into acid. So we'll see the second one. So HNO3 is the second molecule. It is nitric acid. So this can be having basic radical H plus, acidic radical NO3 minus. So being H plus being available, it is an acid. Second is HBr, like hydrochloric acid, this is hydrobromic acid. Again, can be split up into H plus and Br minus, making it an acid. The next one is H2SO4. This is a very famous one. You have learned it previously itself. Yes, it is sulfuric acid. There are two H plus ions. Children, it observe this. It is 2H plus, not H2 plus. So there are two H plus ions in sulfuric acid. And acidic radical is SO4 minus, hence it is an acid. The last one, children, H3BO3, it is nothing but boric acid. It has, as you can see, it has 3 H plus ions and BO3 minus, making it an acid. Let us discuss the next set of compounds. The first one is NaOH, which is sodium hydroxide. The basic radical is Na plus and acidic radical is OH minus. So what it could be? Yes, being OH minus present, it is a base. Second one is KOH, which is potassium hydroxide, having basic radical K plus and acidic radical here again OH minus, so it is a base. CaOH twice is calcium hydroxide. It is having Ca2 plus as basic radical and it contains 2 OH minus ions. So this is a base. NH4OH is ammonium hydroxide having basic radical NH4 plus and acidic radical OH minus, so it is a base. Let us watch the other set of compounds. First one is NaCl, which is sodium chloride. It is a salt, we know very well. The basic radical is Na plus and acidic radical is Cl minus. So this compound does not have H plus or OH minus. So what is it, children? Yes, it is a salt. Then CaNO3 twice is calcium nitrate, which is having basic radical as Ca2 plus and 2 NO3 minus is present. So it is a salt again. About K2SO4, which is potassium sulfate, having 2 K plus ions and SO4 minus, making it a salt again. CaCl2 is calcium chloride, having Ca2 plus and then 2 Cl minus ion, it is salt again. NHO twice, SO4 is ammonium sulfate. 2NH4 plus is the basic radical present and SO4 minus is acidic radical, making it salt again. So children, now you are aware how to classify the compounds as acids, bases and salts. Let us refresh our memory about ionic compounds. The molecule of an ionic compound has a cation, that is a positive ion or called as a basic radical, and an anion, which is a negative ion or an acidic radical. So an atom which is neutral with loss of electron become a cation and with gain of electron will become an anion, which is negatively charged. So there is a force of attraction between these two ions as they will be oppositely charged, and that is why it is called as ionic bonding. So the force of attraction between a positive charge on a cation and negative charge on this anion make one ionic bonding. How ionic bond is formed in sodium chloride? If you look at sodium, the atomic number is 11 and the electronic configuration is 281. This is the structure of a sodium atom. It has only one electron in its outermost shell. If you see the outer shell, it has only one electron. If we look at chlorine, the atomic number of chlorine is 17 and electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 7. It has 7 electrons in its outermost shell. If you look at the outermost shell, you can find 7 electrons. So the 2 gain complete octet. Sodium donate an electron and chlorine accepts the electron. So the sodium atom will donate its one electron and chlorine will accept that electron. So the outermost shell of sodium and chlorine will be complete octet after donating and accepting of electron happens. Before that, it is not a complete octet. So the electronic configuration with a complete octet state indicates a stable state. So the ionic bond formed between the oppositely charged sodium and chlorine ions, positive and negative, oppositely charged ions. So therefore an ionic compound of sodium chloride have a high stability. Children, can you recollect about solutions that we have learned in our previous year? So what are the resulting mixtures formed by mixing the following compounds? What will happen when you mix water and salt? You will get a solution. When you mix water and sugar, yes, again you will get a solution. What will happen when you mix water and sand? You will get a, yes, suspension. So what will happen with water and sawdust? Yes, again a suspension. Let us learn about the dissociation of ionic compound. Children, what is mean by the word dissociation? It is opposite of association. We can say it is breaking up. The ionic compound forms aqueous solution on dissolving in water. In the solid state, that is as such, the oppositely charged ions in the ionic compound are sitting side by side. That is, if you look at the structure of sodium chloride, in that you can see sodium and chlorine, they are sitting side by side. So when an ionic compound, when it starts dissolving in water, the water molecule, it penetrates in between the ions and separates them from each other. Thus, an ionic compound dissociates, that is separates during the formation of an aqueous solution. After dissociation, each of the dissociated ions, that is the separated ion, are surrounded by water molecules. So this situation, that is this state, is indicated by writing the letter AQ inside a bracket, meaning the solution is, it is there in the aqueous state, that is dissolved in water. So this is how the dissociation of sodium chloride is indicated. Sodium chloride undergoes dissociation with water, forms Na plus and Cl minus, both are in aqueous state. About Arrhenius' theory of acids and bases, children, the Swedish scientist Arrhenius, he put forth the theory of acids and bases in the year 1887. According to him, an acid is a substance which, on dissolving in water, gives rise to H plus ion as the only cation. For example, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, carbonic acid, everything. So on dissociation, it gives only H plus as the only cation. Take for another example, sulfuric acid on dissociation first gives 1 H plus and then HSO4 is formed, which is temporary. Again it undergoes dissociation and forms H plus and SO4 minus. So the acids are those compounds which gives only H plus as the only cation when dissolved in water. Children, time to use your brain power. Can you name the following compounds? What is NH3? Yes, NH3 is ammonia. What is Na2O? Any idea? Na2O is sodium oxide. And what will be CaO? Yes, it is calcium oxide. So when the above compounds, when these compounds are mixed with water, they combine with water. So shall we complete the table which is given there in your textbook, children? You can complete it. The dissociation of ammonia with water, it gives NH4 plus and OH minus. Then Na2O with water gives 2 Na plus and 2 OH minus. Then calcium oxide with water gives Ca2 plus and 2 OH minus, all in aqueous state. Into which type will you classify the above compounds? Now you know very well. Being OH minus present, yes, they are classified as bases. Coming back to Arrhenius theory of acids and bases, children. A base is a substance which on dissolving in water give rise to OH minus as the only anion. For example, sodium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide dissociate in water to give Na plus and OH minus in aqueous state, whereas calcium hydroxide gives Ca2 plus and 2 OH minus. So bases are those that give OH minus as the only anion according to Arrhenius. Now we will learn how acids and bases are classified. So acids and bases are classified on the basis of extent to which they dissociate in their aqueous solution. So accordingly, they can be classified as a strong acid, weak acid, strong base, weak base, and alkali. First, about strong acid. A strong acid is the one on dissolving in water. It dissociates almost completely. So on the resulting aqueous solution will have H plus as the ion, only cation, and the concerned anion will also be present. You can see this is the cation. It is termed as proton H plus, and then a negative ion according to the compounds present. So what will be a weak acid? As you can see in the picture, on dissolving in water, a weak acid does not dissociate completely. Take for example, acetic acid, carbon dioxide. So the concerned acidic radical will be present in small proportion along with a large proportion of undissociated molecules. About strong base. So strong base is also like that. On dissolving in water, the strong base dissociate almost completely and contains mainly OH minus ion and the concerned basic radical. Weak base on dissolving will not dissociate completely. So the resulting solution contains small proportion of OH minus and the concerned basic radical with a large proportion of, you can see, undissociated molecules. So these are undissociated. Take for example ammonia, which is a weak base. So alkali, what is alkali? The bases, alkali is a base which are highly soluble in water. Take for example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, ammonia. So here sodium and potassium hydroxides are strong bases where ammonia is a weak base, but all these are highly soluble in water. So they are termed as alkali. Shall we complete the following table, children? According to the number of H plus ion obtained from one molecule, the acids can be classified as monobasic, dibasic and tribasic acids. Let us see the table. So if you see HCl, it can give only one H plus, so as HNO3. If you see H2SO4, it can give 2 H plus, so as H2CO3. If you see boric acid, it can give 3 H plus, so as phosphoric acid. And acetic acid can give only one H plus. It will be CH3COO minus and H plus. So as you can see, they are giving only one H plus ion. So HCl, HNO3 and CH3COOH are monobasic acid. Sulfuric and carbonic acids are dibasic, where boric and phosphoric acid are tribasic acids. Same way, we can classify the bases as well depending on the number of OH ions obtained from them. Take for example sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide. They all give only one OH minus ion, whereas calcium and barium hydroxide will give two OH minus ion, whereas aluminum and iron hydroxide will give 3OH. So they can be classified as monoacidic, diacidic and triacidic bases. Let us learn about basicity and acidity, children. Acids and bases can also be classified according to their basicity and acidity respectively. What is meant by basicity of acids? The number of H plus ions obtained by dissociation of one molecule is called as its basicity, whereas acidity of a base is the number of OH ions obtained by dissociation of one molecule of a base is called its acidity. We have learned a lot about acids and bases, children. We will summarize this module. The foodstuffs that are sought to taste are acidic substances, while that are bitter and slippery or soapy to touch are basic substances. The compounds having H plus as the basic radical are called as acid. The compound having OH minus as acidic radical in their molecules are bases. The ionic compounds having basic radicals other than H plus and acidic radicals other than OH minus are salts. The force of attraction between one positive charge and a cation and one negative charge and an anion makes one ionic bond. An ionic bond is formed between the oppositely charged Na plus and Cl minus ions, and therefore the ionic compound NaCl have very high stability. An ionic compound forms an aqueous solution on dissolving in water. This state is called aqueous state. It is indicated by writing AQ within bracket on the right of the symbol of the ion. According to Arrhenius, an acid is a substance which on dissolving in water gives rise to H plus ion as the only cation, and a base is a substance which on dissolving in water gives rise to the OH minus ion as the only anion. Acids and bases are classified on the basis of the extent to which they dissociate in their aqueous solutions. They are classified as strong acid, strong base, weak base, and alkali. According to the number of H plus ion obtained from one molecule, the acids can be classified as monobasic, dibasic, and tribasic acids. According to the number of OH minus ion obtained from one molecule, the bases can be classified as monoacidic, diacidic, and triacidic bases. The number of H plus ions obtainable by the dissociation of one molecule of an acid is called basicity, and the number of OH minus ions obtainable by the dissociation of one molecule of a base is called its acidity. Hope you are having a good idea of acid, bases and salt, children. There are so many things that we are going to learn about them in the coming modules. Until then, thank you.